Probably have a lot to get through, so I should probably get started. Oh boy. I probably won't try to bother moderating people on chat. Let's see, so this is kind of a complicated thing. It's hard to know where to start. I know that we want to talk about this particular NFT that's related to this Kevin Smith film. It's called Killroy Was Here. This is an NFT on Secret Network. Probably should back up and talk about NFTs in general, maybe, because this is kind of an unusual one because of the private properties there. I think I want to back up and come back to that, though, a little bit later. I think no one's heard of this Kevin Smith film, although I think most people have heard of Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith did like Clerks, Mallrats, Jay and Silent Bob. He's Silent Bob, Jay and Silent Bob. And Killroy Was Here, like K-I-L-L. You don't have to really put quotes around it to even find this film. This is a Kevin Smith film. I've never heard of anyone who's, encountered this movie. He launched it like last year, so it's been out for about a year. You can watch a bit of the trailer in a moment. I bet the video doesn't work so well. I have a plan for watching the video later, but this trailer might be garbage. But this is a Kevin Smith film that has literally one review.
Blind the eyes that cannot see, make deaf the ears that cannot hear, close the mouth that cannot tell, and send the monster back to hell.
Back then his name was Roy Huggins. When he was your age, he already had a taste for blood.
Holy shit.
What is happening?
Nothing will stop Killroy if he wants to get you.
Oh, God!
Whoa, you almost gave me a heart attack. I'm a middle-aged man who eats like shit and huffs floor cleaner all day.
This is Alicio and Ernesto.
Hola, amigos. Me llamo Father Pat. Come on out.
The online donations have put us over the top.
It's going to take a lot more money for that heart transplant.
Kid killing boogeyman, that is just some superstitious bullshit.
Look out!
I'll make my special sweet tea.
You gonna come smoke?
Yes! You see that? The gator chaser did it again! No, no, no! Ow! Ah, get the shit!
Cassie, I'm coming to Killroy!
Better get the mob.
Did you guys get all that? Does anyone have any thoughts on this so far? Has anyone seen this trailer before? I'd love it if someone who's joined this can tell me that they've already seen this film or, I don't know, even knew anything about it ahead of time. Let's just look at these violent scenes again. Ugh. If that's just a fraction of what's in this film, then it's pretty cool, right? But, alright, that was the trailer. I think it is so interesting that this just has one review. And if you read this review, it's pretty funny on its own, because it's like, it's just one review. It hates the film. it's already angry about NFTs. Like the whole fact that this film is like just associated and dragged down in the opinion of, well, the people who leave movie reviews like this over the last year. I find that really funny. I mean, I think this is clearly like a very badly misunderstood whole setup, but well, you'll see that as it goes on. But I'm interested in knowing whether anyone, managed to figure out how to get the NFT to see this at all. So even in this review, I think this is the one that I remember. Does it say it was just shown at a festival? So, I mean, this guy is not someone who bought the NFT and used the NFT to view the film. We'll go through the demo and, show exactly what that means in this little hangout here. But this guy didn't do that. He just saw it at a festival. So I think that this was shown at one film festival and then launched as an NFT. And no one who cares enough about these NFTs has bothered to go post on these forums or, I don't know, talk to anything that would bring this movie to, more visibility. Yeah, this is an NFT on Secret Network. Maybe we can go into that a little bit. Most NFTs they suffer from the right-click problem. Even if you don't know much about NFTs, you've probably heard of that. I was going to pull up OpenSea for some comparison. I guess I'll do that more if people ask. Maybe just go straight to like Secret Network NFTs. All the Secret Network NFTs, this is viewed on Stash. Stash is like the secondhand. It's the OpenSea for Secret Network. It does other Cosmos chains too, I think, but it's most interesting for doing Secret Network. But the cool thing about the Secret Network NFTs is that they have private metadata. So they're sort of right-click save resistant because if you're not the owner of the NFT, you don't get to see what that data is. And there's a ton of like really dumb and centralized ways of doing this as well. So if you're not familiar with Secret Network, but you see this, even if you're a sophisticated blockchain developer, if you're not already familiar with the trusted hardware enclaves, like you have to either be familiar with Secret or Oasis or Obscuro or something like that to, I think, get this idea. Otherwise, your first guess at how they would do this probably isn't right. Your first guess, someone who knows about NFTs would think that this private properties is just something that's like between you and this server, or it's like a comment, that you leave on Etherscan or something like that, that the private metadata has to do with this service. But that's really not the case on Secret Network. Like this is actually private metadata that's on the Secret Network blockchain, encrypted so that only the validator nodes running the program can actually, help you access the private metadata. But if you're the owner of it, like if you own this NFT through like a Kepler wallet here, then you'd be able to see the private metadata of that NFT. And what's actually going on behind the scenes is an interaction, like a secure interaction from your wallet to the trusted hardware nodes that are able to decrypt this. So you can talk to any of those nodes. It really is like on the blockchain rather than just through some separate service. I'll show you that more on the command line when we get to it in a bit. Maybe I would have given an example like this is just like a random raccoon NFT. I was just browsing whatever you find on Stash. I think that this Kevin Smith film, which haven't given any background, but on how it's launched as an NFT, but it's basically like an access code to download the movie. It's actually a little more than that. We'll see in a second. It's like an IPFS link and like a decryption key for being able to download the movie in that link, and that's what you get in the NFT. I got caught away like looking at this one review on IMDb, but besides like just IMDb, I think it's really funny that if you try to look for these on Google, like anywhere, even like on Reddit and other things, it's only like a handful of people who say something, and it just sort of, the conversation just like totally ends out. And in all of these cases, everyone just starts to associate this with sort of, boring NFTs that, I don't know, I think they missed the whole point. At some point they say like, oh, has anyone like, watched it? Will you share the code? And no one's bothered responding to that too. So we'll get to that too in a moment. Let's see. Yeah. Help yourself to that local password there. Let's see. I could show more background on Secret Network. I think I've already done my job of like wasting enough time. I might just go through sort of the steps of this. Well, okay, what else could I do? So this is the Killroy NFT. Go back to Stash. This is the Stash page for the Killroy NFT. This is, I guess, a particular one in the series. I just wanted to look at the collection. Yeah, I mean, you see where I'm going with this is that it's going to, pirate this obscure film. One of the things I wanted to do before getting to the good bit was load up the couple of discussions from Kevin Smith on what this NFT does, and especially comparing it with the clips of like Quentin Tarantino talking about it, because those two basically have done these podcasts that are pretty interesting because they discuss the background of the respective NFTs that they've launched on Secret Network.
That grants the owner of that NFT.
I'll get to this in just a second, but I mean, yeah, I'm going to buy the NFT. I have a plan for what specifically to do with it, but I'm not going to have to, reveal anything random. We'll see exactly what I do with it in a second. What was the last thing I was going to show about with the Killroy NFT? Okay, yeah, I wanted to look at the collection on Stash. Just do some background on this and then start moving a little bit quicker. So the Killroy NFT, on Secret Network, right, this is associated with the film. I will play this Kevin Smith thing because it's actually pretty confusing. I think what goes on is that there's actually like multiple different Killroy NFTs. The ones we're going to play with are just the like basic tier that let you watch the movie and get one of these PFPs. When I'm looking at these on Stash, where's the like overall statistics? Should be something on like the total number of them. I mean, this is like the market view. Stash is a secondary market, so basically there's a bunch of these NFTs, like somewhere between a couple hundred and 1,000, or a few thousand of this one. And they're just sort of for sale at different prices. And their price has been trending down, and it looks like the last one was sold for 65. So when you look at all of these assets, this is, I believe, showing them in order of, I'm gonna look at price, low to high. So like this guy is the cheapest. He's available for 130 secret, and that only costs about $38 right now. And so if we bought this for the $38, then, we might be able to go see this private property. It's got this public property that's the, profile photo. Does it really show anything else useful? I mean, these are all things that go into the profile photo. Okay, so I will skip away from the Stash page. We're going to go back to that just a second, obviously, to go buy the NFT. We have a few thousand secret here. That's going to be enough to buy this. This is the page, so this isn't the Stash market page for it. This is actually the, what would you describe? This is like the official web page for the launch. So this isn't the social media or the IMDb review or the trailer or anything. This is like the NFT page, like the, this is the app page, basically. Actually, probably what's relevant to go over the background for this, even we just look at this fact page, this this answers a bunch, right? What does each NFT contain? You get the profile photo. Here you get the access to the full-length feature film. You also get the movie script signed by Kevin Smith. There's something contradictory that's like you get different versions of that, not clear if it's exactly the same. Clearly there's only one full-length feature film though, so those all have to be the same. One of 45 comic videos. You get the creative rights to each profile photo, and that comes up a lot when we play the little discussion from Kevin Smith on these. He talks a lot about how the the NFT carrying some explicit like creative property rights is kind of a key thing they wanted to play with. And I don't know if there's a technical field that corresponds to that, but yeah, I guess this is it. There's 1,000 of them. That matches the fact that I was seeing a lot of numbers on that page of like in the 900s. Anyway, I think we get the idea there. Let's see if there's anything else that we can see from this. Well, no NFTs were minted. Return to the homepage and mint one. I think that this basically was really focused on the the premiere launch and the first time sale of this. I wonder whether, I mean, Stash must have been around at that time, but actually even in the, we'll switch to this video of him before I think we do the demo, but I'm not sure whether he was thinking about the idea of like secondary marketplaces for any, of these NFTs at all. This was really like focused, this whole webpage just only talks about minting it, not about what happens if you get it by the secondary market. All right, that's enough. I want to play Kevin Smith's discussion when he talks on a podcast about his launch of this NFT.
Of Killroy Was Here. The same.
You can totally do that.
Yeah, but
you could actually do something where
that grants the owner of that NFT ownership in the real world of Killroy Was Here. The same.
You can totally do that.
Yeah, but
you could actually do something where you have multiple NFTs. Maybe you have like 12, 13 NFTs. They collect them all and they merge them together to create the movie NFT.
That's
so then they want to buy both of them. They want to buy multiples of each one of those NFTs along the way, so they can hold those and then merge them all together to create the final movie version.
That is fucking dope. And whoever wins this when we drop it next month, hopefully they listen to that and do that. Like, because now it's theirs. Now the movie will be theirs to exploit any way they want, both in the world of blockchain, but also outside the blockchain in the real world. I think this particular NFT offers the bearer the ability to do something that most NFTs don't. Most NFTs, you're kind of dealing with their worth and value in crypto world. This will have its crypto worth, but then outside of the crypto world, in the real world, you can also monetize it. That's like getting a second bite at the apple. And let's be honest, we do this for a month. We keep talking about this. People hear about this. The profile of the movie only goes up and up and up. So whoever winds up winning the movie is easily going to be able to make a deal with a distributor, a streamer, or they can learn how to do it themselves. If they're like, I've always wanted to be in the movie business. Now I got a free movie for my troubles for buying an NFT. So let's gamble. Let's have some fun. So like you get a chance to bring somebody into a completely different industry altogether. The NFT playground, we've seen, wonderful stories about people whose lives have been completely fucking changed. Same thing here. Yeah, exactly. So same thing here. Like not only will it change like in crypto world, but you could wind up being like a distributor in the real world, or suddenly you have a relationship with Netflix or HBO, whoever you wind up selling it to. Because all we did when we sold Clerks at Sundance back in 1994 was sell it to Miramax, and then
that's enough. You kind of you get the good part there. So that's all really interesting, right? But also like, what the hell is he talking about? Like the person who wins the NFT gets it? I mean, that's like completely I mean, and then I read something that I don't know actually what this like Fantasia chain or Phantasma chain is. But what I think happened is that that discussion just has nothing to do with the NFTs that we're looking at right here. What I think happened was that there was a separate set of NFTs. I mean, I know that these guys did a bunch of different ones and I haven't like looked through them all. I think that they did like one auction for like this mega NFT that really does come with some kind of specific movie property rights that are like, you are the, you know, one that got those. But I just think that's a whole separate collection to these other ones, because these ones are pretty or they just had like plans that were fluid. And I'd love to know the rest of the story of this actually, because all I can tell from here is that, you know, this description of the, you know, what you get in the NFTs, you know, does kind of match like what it actually gets when you do it. It doesn't actually seem all that well matched to that discussion that he had. I'll play an even shorter one, but this one's from Quentin Tarantino on how he views like NFT property rights.
And it's going to be a secret NFT, which means that when you get it, it's yours. You can decide to do with it what you want. It's like, you know, not to compare myself, but it's as if you bought an original Keats poem. Or if you bought a Matisse or something like that. You have it, it's yours. If you don't want to show it or share it with anybody, you just want to hold it for yourself, you can. If you want to show it to your friends and your loved ones, say, hey, look at this cool thing I have. I've got the Royale with She's Seen from Pulp Fiction, all in Quentin's own handwriting. You can show it. If you want to show it to the world, you can. It's available to you. So anyway, that is my announcement. And
all right, so that's fantastic. That's a whole lot more of like a code is law sort of viewpoint on NFTs with private metadata. This is Quentin Tarantino. He's talking about like completely different set of NFTs. They have nothing to do with these ones, but you know, that viewpoint is basically kind of, yeah, if there's private metadata in it, you hold the NFT, you get to, you know, choose to share that private metadata or not. Now you would think that this has exactly to do with what I still have another angle on it. So you know, how I dispose of this NFT, you'll have to wait to see the exact way that I do it, and then we'll come back to it. Okay, so anything else that I needed to do before doing speedrun demo here? Probably not. So all I am going to do is let's go back to the Killroy NFT series. And all I'm going to do for the demo is try to go spend the secret in my wallet to buy the Killroy Was Here NFT on Stash. And yeah, we'll see how long that takes. So we could sign up by email. No, we'll sign up with Secret Network, which just means sign up with this Kepler wallet. Now, this is actually kind of an interesting thing, but we're going to bypass this when we do command line stuff using a different thing called viewing keys. Well, you wouldn't look at this anyway. It's just Kepler. You just approve it. That's how you log in with Secret Network, connect your wallet, basically. Yeah, it's basically doing the same thing as like signed message. Maybe if you're familiar with MetaMask. Don't know why you need a username, but there we go. Alright, skip, don't need it. Alright, logged in, have some secret. Going to, let me make sure I was sorting from low to high. Phrase low to high. All right, this was the guy that we had. All right, we now have the buy it now option because I have that secret wallet. All right, and now this is setting the viewing key. Now I'm going to go ahead and make a note of this for later. Where's my stash page? There we are. I actually have no idea if the Kepler is even rendering. Oh, I think it is. I'm sharing desktop on this Zoom, so I think I think that's okay. So this is actually going to be. Well, I think I'm getting ahead of myself. I haven't even hit the buy it now button. Did I? No, this was the buy it now button. This is going to simultaneously buy it. Okay, now I'm back on track. We're simultaneously going to buy it and set the viewing key for it. All right, while we're completing the purchase, I can look at the chat. I mean, everyone's been following around so well. Yeah, which chain did Quentin Tarantino's also Secret Network? Yeah, this only works for NFTs with on-chain metadata. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I guess there's a bunch of ways of doing something like this. Maybe you could get into like those other technical ways. But anyway, all right, we've bought this Killroy. Now, these are the private properties. So already we've seen a few things, right? So this is a viewing key that was set when I bought this NFT. Here it's in sort of like a grayed out font, but I can make it a little more vivid. And this stash page is already showing me a full movie link. That's just an IPFS URL. And it shows me a full movie key, which probably corresponds to full movie and is a decryption key of some kind. So this should also be showing me, I guess this is too bad. This is trying to render like a few different things. And I guess, you know, in general, this interface is like pretty excellent, but I don't quite know what's going on with it. Well, it's clearly trying to load this. I don't have like IPFS keybound. I can go set up some browsing and see if I can read it, but does that show me something? Okay. I am getting ahead of myself, but this is a text file that Stash couldn't render, but if you just load the IPFS link, that's what it says. It gives you a text file. I've got a link to the page. Well, this is the page that I had already loaded, so well, this is actually a decent time to go on to that. We'll come back to what else you can view about this private NFT and also what you can see with the viewing key, and in fact how you can set the viewing key to anything you want. Yeah, we'll come back to that in a little bit. Yeah, let's first go to the Killroy page. So now we go to My Collection. Wallet is already connected. Now it knows that we have an NFT. And it's actually showing me, so this is like the official view, but of all of these like rarity qualities and kind of general, you know, snip NFT stuff. Yeah, I got a question. You know, can you arbitrarily set the viewing key? Yeah, you can set the viewing key to, you know, whatever you want. Maybe I'll come back in a bit, or I guess just describe it now. Well, it's actually so hard to describe the viewing keys because it's kind of a workaround for a pretty non-obvious thing anyway. But yeah, there's like one process that you go through that involves your Kepler wallet, and it involves like prompting you to approve a blind signed message, basically the same way you do like a signed message in Ethereum for like ETH logins. And so normally you have to do that to invoke a transaction or do a query the like built-in way in secret network. And what they end up doing with view keys is you actually set an encryption key in the contract, going through that process a first time, but then later you can basically do an easier interaction using the viewing key, even if you don't have to have your wallet. So you can share the viewing key separately from sharing the ability to log in with your wallet. So it's complicated. You don't normally as a user have to see it. As a developer, it's good to know about, and behind the scenes it happens a lot in different applications that you use. But typically that viewing key is set to be random, but nothing in the smart contract makes it random, so you're allowed to set the viewing key to whatever you want. So we'll do that as like a last step here. Anyway, okay, so this is, I might have tried to show in like developer console more of like what's happening on this web page, but basically this page is doing a better job of rendering those private attributes than Stash was doing in a generic way. So this site comes in with a built-in script browser, and that is like fetching and decrypting that sad face file. So this is a PDF with a script to Killroy. Wow. There's a unique teaser. I think this one said it was like number 42. It was like 12 out of 40.
Innocent blood has been broken in your stead this night, Thomas Beatty. The pact is sealed. One day I'll return for the child you have sold in your stead.
Sick, that was good. Alright, this is the big button, right? The watch the Killroy button. So this is an hour-length feature film. You have to skip around, right? Because if it's just the beginning, you might think it's just like, fake videos on YouTube.
Do you ever come back to Sarasota?
No, but this is really good skipping around.
It's like all of y'all people know something that I didn't know until today. And as soon as sweet man.
So I might come back to this. This is doing a really good job of loading an encrypted film. I know that there was actually I don't know that I had this built up, but there was I think it was Legendow showing this. They had a blog post where they basically went over I think it was a blog post on the secret website. Maybe it's this one, or they mentioned it. There is a blog post where they go into technical details of how they made the streaming work, and it's actually really impressive. At least it works really well. It is actually fetching, well, what's the best way to say it? The decryption data for that is on-chain entirely. Let me go through the command line bit, and that'll shed a little bit more light on a couple bits of it. And I'll do the viewing key demo though, and then I'll be done and maybe just let the film roll. What I want to do is show quickly on the command line how to get the rest of the information about this that isn't so obvious just from looking at Stash and using Kepler. So I'm going to be using the secret command line. And I'm going to do query compute. I just have to go step by step to remember the bits of this. Probably query, and then that's the token. Here, I'm probably covering up my... Yep, there's okay. So I should be able to do something like token info. All right, and I just pipe these through JavaScript to decode. Well, that wasn't helpful. Okay, so this is actually telling me, right, I'm using the command line to query one of the secret nodes that has a trusted hardware enclave to do some querying work for me. So far, I'm not doing anything that really requires private metadata. We'll get to that in a second. And even when I just try to do a general query, if I don't get it right, it gives me a pretty cool suggestion on what I should try. So I can do all NFT info. I guess I need to give a token ID for this. I wanted to show one of the one that doesn't need anything, but that's okay. This can guide me through. I'll just go look up the one that I just bought. This one's 30, so I can put 30 there. I think that needs to be a string. Yeah, there we go. So this is the public metadata page for my Killroy NFT. I'll go back to pulling up IPFS. Will this let me browse directly to? Yeah, okay. Browses to that public photo. And besides NFT info, what were the other options? Private metadata. So I need to set the token ID field. All right, and what I believe is that I also need, well, actually, let me go look at the documentation real quickly for this. So all of these query parameters are described in this SNP 721. That's like the secret network, ERC 721 NFT standard. And so this is a lot like the ERC 21s, except it's got private metadata. That's really the part that's like most interesting for secret network. And this is also what's using the viewing key there. So to finish this query, I need to pass in the address of the owner, the viewing key that the owner set, and that's it. And then it's in viewer, so I can probably remember this. No, I can't. It's address and viewing key. Now the address in this case is going to be my secret address, the owner of the NFT. And the viewing key I saved on the way while I initialized it. All right, and this is the private metadata for that NFT. So these are the bits that had already been rendered, this rarity score, that full movie link, and the full movie key. And you can also see, I think this is the PDF file that got, or this must have been the script that we looked at that rendered correctly on the Killroy website, but not elsewhere. So that streaming video is done through this Azure Edge link. So I think that, this actually kind of gets to the time maybe to talk about like this to me is whether it ends on the quality of like this NFT design, because in a way this fast streaming one that just lets you turn it on right away without having to do a silly download, this one actually does require you to kind of use a hosted service that also has to be fast. The blog post talked a bit about how this works. I probably can't describe it in like that clear of a detail. I mean, there is a decryption key, but I don't quite know how to use it. And these are like a playlist file of each of the little chunks, so it's pretty cool. Now, what you can do with the full movie, and someone did mention this on chat, so they must have seen this before or just know about that, but I can try to do progress. Is that it? Let's see if I can download the film. I just installed IPFS-get. So here I'm trying to download the full film, and oh man, it's going really fast. All right, I had done this before, so this is picking up, I think, my local. Here, let's quit my IPFS node. Now it's probably going to go through my actual internet and go slower. I don't know what I'm looking at. This is supposed to be going a lot slower. This is downloading the 7 gigabyte film. So the gigabyte is, the film is, this large. You're getting I guess that's how you know it's quality. You're getting like the 7 gigabyte film download from this. Who's running the IPFS node storing the movie data? That's a good question. I have no idea. I mean, who's pinning this, and if they chose to go away, would they just unpin it? I have no idea how you even begin looking at that, and I don't think it's something that nothing I saw from like Legend DAO and that NFT page or launch went into like that level of technical detail. So maybe they would answer if asked about it. But this took me 3 hours to download, and I downloaded it a while ago. So for all I know, I don't know, Cloudflare hosts IPFS gateways or something. Who knows? I mean, IPFS is. I don't know how much detail you want or already know about IPFS Wilwix Q. In principle, anyone can mirror it, but there's also not like a guarantee that every file on IPFS is being mirrored. So, if you go out of your way to mirror a file, then you can, but you don't normally get a guarantee about it. I forgot to keep the instructions for doing like unrar, but that's basically the thing to do next. And actually I might skip to that because I'd already downloaded this before and done unrar. Yeah, regarding privacy, I mean the file is, anyone on IPFS can basically like store that file. Like IPFS on its own isn't providing privacy for things. So it's really like what's really protecting this is not having the key, or potentially just not knowing anything about the scheme. So IPFS is basically only supposed to be there for the availability and providing it, and the privacy is only in the key for it. Did I want to go to playing this? Maybe not. I guess I will just say, yeah, the last thing I'll do here is on, so, all right, my viewing key is small and I can just tweet that, right? I've obviously on this stream sort of revealed this, movie and full movie key. So obviously you could just type it from that. Although in a way, I find it kind of interesting, I guess, the philosophy of this NFT stuff, but I mean, it's one thing to say here, buy the NFT, but like, oh, but it's considered, good practice to like keep the movie key private, I guess, but not even setting the movie key. To me, the fact that you can write I'm allowed to write my viewing key to whatever I want. And for like a technical reason involved how I set up Kepler here, I can't do this with the same address. But, in practicing for this, I bought one before, and in a way I could set my viewing key directly. So I can't show you setting the viewing key, but on the other of these NFTs that I own, I set the viewing key to Socrates 1024 was here. This is the address I used to set that, so you pass that, and this is token 818. That's the NFT that I'm burning this way. So all you need to do to query it is I'll put that through JQ. So this is not me leaking any information that anyone shared with me through the NFT, but rather using my ownership of the NFT itself to neutralize the viewing key. So none of this is even random data. That's just using the NFT method to make it open, which is clearly what the standard allows. So this isn't even any like hacker unusual thing. To me, this is even like further on the side of besides just making it kind of like trivial and obvious, this is making it through like write actions only, not even leaking anything to make it openly available. So all right, that's my opened up NFT. Let's see what else I might do now. I think I can load it on the same way on other machine here. See, here I use the permit mechanism. That works a lot better than a viewing key, so I was able just to like load this same page on a browser instead.
Okay. Come back in a half hour. When the porch light's off, it'll mean the kid's asleep.
Come on, babe. How about a little, something to hold me over?
Fuck off. If I gotta wait, you can wait till later.
Well then. Well, I don't think I can sit through more than 2 of them, but I think that there's 5, so that's probably where I leave it for now. Anything else to poke at? Probably not. Well, thanks to everyone who asked questions and stayed through this. Hope that was all the fun you can have with... Ooh, oh, one more thing to look at. Oh yeah, there was going to be, you're supposed to get an access to a launch party, but I don't think that's available here, or at least that's something you'll have to go do with the command line in the private metadata. All right, stream over. Happy Halloween. Hope you enjoy private metadata NFTs. Maybe we'll do something even spookier with hardware enclaves next time.